that, you're focused on the match. Eala, match point number 5. Serving. Slider into the body. Good return from Tauson. Great depth from both players yet again. Nice inside-out forehand. Going at Tauson's forehand there from Eala. Extended rally. And she's done it. Alex Eala into the second round at the U.S. Open.
What?
And the crowd goes bonkers.
From 5-1 down, I really thought it was it.
Wow. 5-1 down to the third?
Correct.
Jesus, this was a real roller coaster of emotions, and I was only here for 17 minutes.
There was all sorts of drama in this match too.
Look at how fired up she is. That's so good for the game when you see these young players, just pure joy. You can see how emotional she is. You can see how much it means to her, to the crowd. I got chills. It's a special moment.
So special.
All right, so I'm being told that we're going to need to do a post-match debrief, and I don't think that we need to. We get to. And so, Brenner, obviously you watched most of the match, so going to have some cues for you. And in the chat, would love for y'all to join in, like, hey, let's talk about some stuff. Let's see, how far can Eala go? Let's talk about what she needs to do between now and the next round. Let's talk about Tauson. Look, from what I saw, Tauson did not play a bad match. She just ran into an absolute buzzsaw in Alex Eala.
Yeah, I feel like it was almost like a 3 or even 4-part match.
Yeah.
The start, both players are playing well. Tauson had 7 aces in the first set, and you're thinking, okay, wow, that's a lot. She only won 3 games in the first set. So that gives you an idea of how good Eala was on return. Neutral ball rallies.
Yeah.
And I thought like her variety was a lot better in that first set. Come the second set, I think she kind of got maybe pulled into playing like the more baseline heavy exchanges. And it seemed like she was just fading a bit mentally as well. Decision-making wasn't as good. And then, kind of from like the 5th game on in the second set is when Tauson just ran with it, right? The Eala serve just getting picked on. So that was, I guess, the third part of the story. The fourth part, or maybe the fourth part, would be when the comeback starts, just getting that hold, right? It's 5-2. So Tauson's serving for it for the first time, and you're not thinking much of it, or at least I wasn't, and gets one back, gets a good hold. The crowd's back on their feet. You have to remember, just a heavy Filipino crowd, but there was just a lot of drama in this match, kind of from point 1, where the crowd's getting into it. They're yelling a lot during points, which is obviously a big no-no in the sport of tennis. So
it's a big no-no for now, and hopefully in the future, people will stop being so precious and let the crowd actually enjoy themselves and get into it. Yeah,
that's fair. But yeah, Tauson was pissed off from the start, to be honest, going up to the chair asking, can you tell them to stop? Then there was a big controversy, and unfortunately, given what just unraveled in the last 30 minutes, I don't know exactly when this point was, but Eala had a volley, and it set up, I think, the first breakback point. Yeah, I think it was when it was 5-4, and she was serving. So maybe at 15:30, Eala's on top of the net and hits a volley winner. And think about the net and her racket being so close. And Tauson's like, oh, it was on my side. Look at it. They go to the review. It ends up being on Eala's side. Point stands. Tauson's still frustrated. Show it to me again. Explain to me how you see this. No explanation. Does look at it again. 5-all. And then, she saw it right before you joined, Zach. She even saw a match point at 30-40 with Tauson serving to stay in the match. Ends up going to the breaker, and there it just felt like a whole new match. Like the amount of aggression was back. It felt almost like the first set again, where players, they seemed fairly fresh, right? There wasn't like a huge amount of fatigue, but I thought Eala did a good job switching lines. Like she was the one being a little bit more courageous, and it ended up paying off in the end.
Absolutely. Brenner, would you say that when the final point was played and Eala won 13-11, that you were in a state of shock?
I would 100% say that I was in a state of shock. I was almost, I was switched off come 5-1. I'm like, we got the same story with Eala playing top ranked players. Even back to, I think we were on the same stream when she played Iga in Madrid. I might be making up Madrid, but I think it was because it was on the clay. And Eala wins the first set and then fades.
Yeah.
Then you go again at Wimbledon, plays Krejcikova, wins the first set, fades. Plays Marketa Vondrousova, wins the first set, fades. There's one other player that I'm missing who was a top player where she won the first set and faded.
Is it a stamina thing, or is it a pressure thing, or nerves, or what's like? So this is a huge moment in Eala's career. But you're right. I mean, she's really, really struggled in this exact scenario against top 25 players before. What's the why previously, and then what was different today, Brenner?
For sure, I think Eala's game, her style is like it's unique in a sense, from the serve all the way to like maybe even the net play. Like there's just not a lot of consistency with it, and I think that makes it hard, right? She's willing to take the ball so early, and she's also willing to just drop, a meter, 2 meters, 3 meters behind the baseline and play deep in the rallies. And I think that like takes a little bit of time to get accustomed to. Where she does get hurt is, I think, the serve, as we talked about. As the match progresses, you really start to time it up, right? And a second serve is going to come in at 70 miles an hour. You can kind of plan ahead, right? I'm going to take this backhand inside in. I'm going to take this backhand down the line, whatever it may be. And I think that puts the pressure on her. So she's just not able to react as well as she would in the first set when players aren't really sure what they're getting. So I think that's what hurts her. But there, I think she just flipped a switch, right? Not only was it momentum, crowd support, a little bit more doubt in Tauson's mind, but just her ability to say, forget it all. I made it this far, and let me go back to playing, my brand of tennis.
Yeah. I look, a thing that's going to serve her well is she's clearly a fast starter, right? And a lot of the stuff that you're describing, she's showing that she's learning that she can continue to improve. But it's easier to start as a fast starter than to be the comeback kid, right? And so I hope in her development we see more straight set wins. I think that there's this tendency to go 3 and make it a little bit tougher. Maybe it's just a little bit of letting off the gas. Maybe it's just good adjustments made by her opponents. But if she can figure out how to keep that first set energy going into set 2, she's got a bright future. A lot is made of her forehand because she was trained at Nadal Academy. It's a very heavy topspin forehand, and she's a lefty, right? So the comparison is like, does she have the WTA equivalent of a Nadal forehand? To me, I don't think that's a great comp. I wonder if you see this. Do you see shades of Iga Swiatek's forehand in Eala, or am I talking crazy?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm trying to like warp my mind to see like the flattening out of the forehand 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Because you think about like the lefties game, the Leilas, like they kind of reach and hook the ball.
Yeah.
The lefty forehand, the spin kind of just like hooks with it. It's so deadly from the middle of the court when you do get like a high sitting ball and she flattens it out, right? And it's always deep.
Yeah.
It's always deep. And I think that's so hard to handle. I actually have a lot of praise for the backhand, but more importantly, the footwork that goes with it. I think if you were to watch that, like if you watch her play, that's something that stands out to me. It's just her footwork, her movement ability. And just go ahead.
That's actually part of why I made the Iga comparison, because Iga gets so low on her forehand and she got the heavy topspin, and I see Eala doing the same thing. But you're right, like it's even more visible how low she gets on the backhand, and that footwork, it is all world. She just has to add some pop to her serve if she's going to be a top 20 player consistently. Like, and it's doable. It's obviously more difficult if you got shoulder troubles, which she appears to have right now. Do you have any additional insights on what's going on with the Eala's shoulder? Is it tendonitis? Is it a small tear? Like what is the thing that is hindering her right now?
I can look a little bit deeper into it, Zach, as we discuss this for the next 4 or 5 minutes. What I can tell you,
45 minutes, hopefully,
is that she really hasn't played much. You think about Wimbledon, 1 match, Montreal, 1 match, and now she's here. So 2 matches in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
I can look a little bit more into it as we speak. But yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Like, it's just you're not going to get very far. She's shown that she can do it, but
Oh, so the producer has put in the chat and is now on the screen covering up my beautiful face that Alex Eala has withdrawn from next week's Cincinnati Open with a shoulder injury, as well as the Abierto GMP Seguros in Monterrey, Mexico later in the month. That is obviously older. And so the injury is unspecified, but clearly it is an ongoing thing. You see the bandage, whatever. The stuff they're putting on the players for treating nagging injuries, I just don't know what it is. It looks very flimsy, but I assume that it works, and some very smart people have spent time and energy figuring this out. The producer's also pointing out that the injury seemed to wear on her in her loss to Vondrasova in Canada. And Ghosty's making fun of the Winston Open, which we'll come back to once we wrap up with this, because I did make a pit stop in Winston, and I got to see a bit of Stefano Tsitsipas, and he looked terrible. He looked even worse in practice than he did in his match, by the way. But that's for a later date. Brenner, are there any matches today remaining that you are particularly looking forward to?
Let's see. I can look quickly. Unfortunately, I do have to run though.
Okay.
Zach. I mean, honestly, Lerner Tien, Djokovic, that's something I'm looking forward to. I don't really know. We don't get to see Djokovic play really much anymore. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. And I think that I guess there's a new little partnership between Lerner Tien and his coach. So just looking forward to see how that unravels.
What a great segue. Later on this evening, the John Silk and I will be commentating on the Lerner Tien Novak Djokovic match. It is the match that I am the most excited for as well. I just can't wait to see it. Look, I love Novak Djokovic. I think he has one more in him. I don't think that it's going to be this one. I think his best shot's going to be in Australia. However, after saying that I think he's still got one more great run, one more big title, I think that anybody saying this is going to be easy for him has not been watching Lerner Tien. The young lefty can play. This is an absolutely brutal round one draw for Djokovic. And I got to say, I think he's on upset alert. Lerner Tien is a stud. There's 3 teenagers in the top 100, and he's one of them. Anyway, with that, Brenner, you got to go.
Thank you, everyone.
Later. To this crowd, say thank you to Brenner. He crushed it. Brenner, have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for joining. A lot of fun, Zach.
America.
Enjoy tonight.
That will do. Bye.
Bye.
All right. And now, audience, it's just us. We can get wacky. We can get weird, but we're going to keep it short and sweet. Jake Davies, I assume that it's going to be pretty late in Wales, so go take a nap. Take a little nap. Wake up later. It is going to be a great match. It's going to be a fun match. And if it's not a particularly good match, John and I are going to make sure to have a good time, and we'd love you to have a good time with us. Any questions that you all want to ask for those that are going to bed, ask them right now. You know what? Put them in the chat. We'll answer them on the stream. You don't want to miss this. Silky will be on later. Come on, guys. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to skedaddle, and I will see you all later this evening. Bye, everybody.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.